everyone. Hope we're all doing well this afternoon. It's always fun to be back on campus. I live in the city, went to undergrad here. I feel like I never make it back. So nice to see a bunch of familiar faces, new faces as well. I'm here representing Windfall Bio. I'm the director of carbon accounting. Sometimes I'm the head of sustainability. You know, in startups, our titles are fluid. And I'm here to talk about how we at Windfall are going to help cross another chasm. We've talked about the valleys of death, but the chasm of the climate value action gap. To limit global warming and reach net zero and limit temperature rise to 1.5, we really need to rapidly and profitably decarbonize. And to rapidly decarbonize, we need to tackle methane. I think we've heard a lot about carbon dioxide. And I will admit, I had carbon dioxide blinders up until earlier this year when I made the switch over from Deloitte to Windfall. But methane is, although it's only responsible for 1% by volume of greenhouse gas emissions, it's responsible for half a degree of warming to date. It has an outsized impact on temperature rise. It's a short-lived climate pollutant, but boy, does it do a good job at warming our planet. And according to the IPCC, we will not reach or limit temperature rise to 1.5 without drastic cuts to methane. We have to cut it by 45% by 2030. So we have our work cut out for us. The good news is there's a business opportunity here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here. Methane is 86 times more powerful than carbon dioxide at warming the planet. That also means for every dollar you spend on methane removal, it's like spending $86 on carbon dioxide removal. So that sounds like a pretty good opportunity for a startup, right? The other thing that's really unique about methane is that there's inherent economic value. There's energy in methane that we can capture. So I think I'll breeze through this because we've talked about the need to focus on profitable solutions that can scale and reach mass market adoption. So how do we go about tackling methane? The other good news from a startup business opportunity is that methane comes from concentrated sources. Over half of global methane emissions come from 3 sectors. 40% come from agriculture, so things like dairies, feedlots, swine, chicken farms. 35% comes from fossil fuels, and 20% comes from landfills. So it gives us a pretty good set of verticals to target. Of course, there are scalable, cost-effective solutions to reduce methane today. The problem is they really only make sense at higher concentrations of methane. And if you look at this graph, most of our methane by volume is at low concentration, so those technologies do not scale. Fortunately, Mother Nature to the rescue. There are naturally occurring methane-eating microbes. They're formally called methanotropes, but we like to call them MEMS. And we use that word. I'll actually thank our CEO, Josh. We just throw it into sentences. It's all lowercase. We just want it to be, they're like trees. They just exist. And these microbes have existed for millennia. They occur in soils, and they literally eat methane out of the air. Methane is their food source. Sounds almost too good to be true, but it's not. And at Windfall, we have isolated some proprietary consortia, so a mix of these microbes that can metabolize methane at an atmospheric concentration, pressure, temperature. We could literally sort of redeploy them, sprinkle them out on the soil. They also fix nitrogen. So we also are able to create an organic fertilizer while we capture and destroy methane. It's literally as simple as this. Methane goes in, the microbes transform it, and we get fertilizer. And the climate impact of reducing or destroying that methane is felt immediately. And I'm excited to say that our MEMS will be on landfills, farms, and at oil and gas sites this summer. So if you're interested in turning a climate woe into a windfall, please get in touch.